This week, we move away from just talking about sustainable electric vehicles and talk to Kyle Weber about how sustainability can really become the norm in cosmopolitan communities like ours. You stress on the need for communities for true sustainability. Why is that?
I honestly believe that sustainability cannot happen if it's not in the right ecosystem. In Dubai, one thing that we often forget is that we've got actually a great community here. One that has the ability, the means, motivation to be sustainable. And really, it's an unmet need in many ways so far.
Can you explain the shared economy thought cycle?
The idea is that you're not selling each car to make more money. Every car maker wants to sell more electric cars, and that's just not going to work. So there's a really cool startup which I recommend anyone to look into called River Simple. They're in the UK. They have a small hydrogen car that they've built. They rent it out, they don't sell them, so they want people to use it as much as possible. And the interesting thing is that they don't make money on each car sold, they actually make money, it's a service. So each time that they are being more sustainable, right, using less resources, being more efficient, that's how they get more money. It's kind of this idea of getting out of our certain mindset that we're in right now. I would say that with the shared economy on our end, from Evera's standpoint, we care about getting the community involved and sort of invested. In that way, we know that it's going to be something that's going to be long-term. It will actually be adopted. People who know us and who want to be part of our network and community are more than welcome. Scooter sharing is something that was happening in Dubai and will be again very shortly. The problem with it is that imagine you go up to a scooter, you unlock it, right? You use it for whatever you want to do. You leave it wherever you need to leave it. Someone else comes along and they use the app to find out where it is, and then they unlock it and they use it. The concept is great, and in theory it's amazing. But in practice, it's very difficult because sometimes you have scooters that malfunction. You have people who leave them in places where nobody can find, or sometimes you have vandalism. And so there's a lot of small issues that need to be ironed out. And those are something that it takes a lot of push from the society, to hold people accountable for their actions. Right? There's an inherent trust that needs to happen for societies to become more futuristic and more sharing. And in Dubai, I think we're still on that path to get there, but we're going. It's a positive thing.
What are your top 5 benchmarks or conditions to make sustainability a true norm in the future?
Education is one of our main key sort of KPIs, I would say. People don't understand that when they use a single-use plastic bottle, that this is not going to degrade for 100 years, right? So that thing is just going to sit for a long time, and even when it does degrade, it's going to become small microplastic that then affects the whole food chain. To really educating the community, getting them interested, evolved, understanding. I mentioned trust. So certainly people need to connect with each other. In this kind of media, digital age that we're in now, we have less and less face-to-face interactions. For the future, we need to get out of this mindset of ownership, right? And more into the mindset of sharing. For many people, myself included, I was, raised in a household where having your own car meant freedom, right? Having your own bicycle, even when you're younger, meant freedom. And so having all of that stuff that eventually, right, becomes junk that you need to get rid of, this was something that was just kind of taken for granted for me personally. For let's say UAE, we need to get onto more sustainable energy, so more solar, tidal, wind. We need to also kind of lower our consumption.
Would you recommend that we follow any websites or social accounts that would really help us understand the community sustainability better?
It's something that we can all get better at. There's one, I mentioned River Simple. There's another company called Sono Motors that makes a small solar-powered car in Germany. WWF, the World Wildlife, and EWS, the Emirates Wildlife Society. We have Sustainable City, obviously. Masdar has some activities that occasionally get posted. That Azraq does, they're very interesting. They do marine conservation.
Kyle, thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you so much for talking to me today. the shared economy thought cycle is something to really think about, actually. I hope you really enjoyed this. I hope you really learned something. I hope it was interesting. Thank you, Kyle, for doing this.
No problem.
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, guys. And if there's anything you want to talk about, let me know. Kyle Weber and Evera's details are in the description below. Contact them, go for these events, try the experiences out. It's all about learning as we speak. So thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.